Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, I want to do a different video than I've ever done before and talk through a change that I'm considering making and why. I've been playing this game for about 10 months, and for a long time I didn't spend anything on the game because I had never spent on a mobile game before, and I felt like it was sort of a trick in a way, or just something I wanted to avoid just because. And I changed my mind, and I spent a decent amount of money on this game. And I've gotten to the point where I have decided that I'm going to go free to play or very cheap to play, which is not something that I thought would happen. I don't know that I had it planned out what I would do long term or how that was going to work out, but it feels like a sudden or significant change in the way that I think about it. So, why would I do this? It's been adding up for a little while, but I feel like the last time during Atlantis and the video I just posted from the Guardians event, even when having, good luck, what people would say is good luck, you can often get stuff that's completely useless to you. And like a third aerial, never going to, unless I play the game for 3 years, which is highly unlikely, I'm never going to prioritize having 3 aerials, especially when Costume Regard is as good as he is. So she's very desirable, and I have no use for her. And I forget who else I got that time. Oh, I got the Hero of the Month. Again, someone I don't really have use for. And then this past Guardians event, I managed to get Guardian Chameleon while trying that censure method, and technically it's good luck. I had only a 0.2% chance of pulling him, and to get Mysterio, who is the rarest hero in the game, you have a 0.1% chance, so pretty similar. And I can't say, I might level him just for fun, but I can't say I have any interest in him. So it started to just add up as other things were changing in my life too. Like, what is the point of this? I felt like it was more stressful, and I was finding the game less fun too when spending on it, because when you spend on it, I feel like it increases your expectations of what you should be getting, because you're like, oh, I just spent money, I should actually get something I want. And if you get nothing, or you get something you don't want, which is by far the largest probability, then it's frustrating. And I was just like, you know what? I got to the point where seeing that getting lucky doesn't mean you get something, getting lucky doesn't mean you get something that you actually care about, was kind of one of the last straws. There were a few straws that broke this camel's back. That was one of them. The other was just seeing how, in my own words, how terrible Small Giant is being to their players lately. I feel like it's been nothing but bad news, and like the fact that people waited for over 2 years for Hero Academy, and they finally release it, and they say, okay, this is going to be the final version. So hasn't been a lot happening in beta, so we haven't done a beta breakdown, but version 30 is coming out, and the Hero Academy version that we talked about most recently, with the one change that you can do 2 trainings at the same time, but not of the same level. What we talked about is the final version aside from that change. And they made an announcement on the forum that was like, oh, we understand that this is disappointing, and that people were hoping that this would be a method for, I'll just put I'll overlay the message over here. I don't have it right in front of me, but you'll be able to see it here. And it was just like, oh, sorry, we want to be totally transparent with you, and we don't think this building is going to accomplish what we want, but we truly believe it has value, so we're going to release it as is. And then hopefully down the line, we'll come up with a solution for duplicate heroes. And like from the beginning, Hero Academy was supposed to be the solution for duplicate heroes. So clearly they don't care what anyone thinks is how it comes across to me, because how could they and continue to do things like that? The feedback, they don't listen to the beta testers. A lot of people are stopping participating in beta because they're more of a formality than they are an actual resource for change in the game. So that's another fantastic reason of like, why would you continue to support these people that don't care about you just so you can have, or at least that act like they don't care about you, just so you can have the small chance to get something that maybe is useful to you, and more than likely you'll get nothing, or something that's not useful to you. And it costs a lot of money. Like if you look at the gem shop, the most expensive one you can buy is $99. That's more. I just almost finished playing Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch. That's a $60 game, and arguably you're getting more. So I don't think you need to hear an explanation on that, but the prices are pretty crazy, and it does feel like at times that they are intentionally preying on people with susceptibilities towards gambling, because that's what it is. It's like you're attempting to get lucky with something because of how that feels, and then you can use the heroes afterwards and whatnot, but it's not like they're leveled anyways. So most people that spend even a small or even a decent amount of money, I'd say, end up with way more heroes than they can level. And on one hand, that does allow you to be picky on who you want to use your rare ascension items on, and I have enjoyed that aspect of it. But on the other hand, there's still this incredibly tight death grip of a bottleneck on ascension materials, and you often spend a long time waiting for the last one, and then they have a deal where they want to sell it to you in a package for $30 or something like that. So then 1/8 of the resources you're using to ascend a hero, you're having to pay for in part of an expensive package, and then buying emblems, and they're just trying to get you to sink all this money into playing the game, essentially, just to do the basic features of the game. So all these things have just kind of culminated, and I've started to get back into my hobby of playing guitar, which is something that is much more meaningful to me, and is actually another YouTube channel I'm going to start. I'm not going to go anywhere on this channel. I still enjoy the game, but I'm just going to change the way I play it, both as a way to make it more enjoyable to me, to remove the stress of chasing heroes and constantly trying to go for the next best thing instead of just focusing on what I have and how I can use that to have fun in a game, and also just because I think Small Giant doesn't deserve any more money. I think they're not going to change their ways at all unless it hurts them, and the only way it's going to hurt them is if their profits drop. So thinking about that and being like, wow, this money could be so much better spent on things that are more important. If you could, even if you could actually buy the heroes you want, I still feel like I might argue against that, because at the end of the day, it is just a mobile game, and while it's enjoyable, there probably are things that you could spend that money on instead that would make you happier in the long run. And I talked about that in the tip video that I just did. So yeah, I feel like I've approached all of this, all that I wanted to say, which is the main reasons for going. Like I might even discontinue VIP and Path of Valor. I was thinking about this more, and like VIP, the second builder, I really don't need at this point. I don't need to make fast progress with my buildings. It's nice to have it there, but there's something that would feel nice at this point, just based on how shitty Small Giant is being. That would feel nice just to not have any financial investment in the game. So that's something I'm considering. And then Path of Valor, while it does have the Ascension items at the end, the bulk of the value, I think, could be said to be the summoning opportunities that you're paying for with the challenge coins and the Atlantis coins and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't fully decided on that, but I will certainly not be buying any more gem deals or anything like that, just because I feel like enough is enough. They need to get the message. They need to make some changes, and the only way that's going to happen is if we tell them that they have to, and the only way they'll actually listen to that as a command is if people stop spending. So yeah, I didn't really plan out the flow of how I wanted this video to go. It's just something that I've had on my mind that I've wanted to put out there. I've left comments in response to some comments over the past few days, talking to people about that this was my plan and something that I had been considering making the change for, and it's just a matter of sitting down to talk about it. So this is sort of a loose format video, but something that I wanted to put out there. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, there's strength in numbers, and if overnight 50% of the people who spend money on the game stop spending money on the game, they would be forced to make changes. And it's like we're the sole reason that they're in business. Like, let that sink in for a second. The only way they have jobs and get to do this is because we are spending money on the game, the people who do spend money. So the fact that they wouldn't take our feedback seriously, it's like, I'm not surprised by that on one hand, but on the other hand, it doesn't make any sense. So that's where I think they've just gotten a bit too carried away and a bit too distanced from their primary investors, us. So in my opinion, this is the time to change the approach there, and I will definitely be one of the people taking part in that. So I think I kind of feel a shift going on anyways, where people have just been like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing all this stuff. And like there was a trick where you could re-roll for free by going into your watchtower, and if you pressed revenge but the person was online, it asked if you want to re-roll. And if you press yes, it wouldn't cost you any food. So you could press yes if you didn't like the team you got, X out of the screen that was there, press revenge on the same person, re-roll, yes. And then they patch that. And it's like, who is that hurting? Who is it hurting that we spend slightly less food during the day? It's like they're so adamant on taking all of these small things away and giving nothing back, in my opinion. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see how many people are on the same page with this, or I'm curious to hear people's arguments for wanting to continue to spend. I know that it feels tempting and there's something fun about playing the game that way, but I've just kind of gotten over that part of it. And like I said, I'm still going to continue to play. I'm still going to continue to make videos. I still have plans for a lot of videos that I want to make that I'm going to continue to make, but I'm going to play the game differently, and I think I'm going to enjoy it more, because for me, at the end of the day, it is a game, and I want to enjoy it and not feel stressed by it. And I think not spending, or spending, the bare minimum with VIP or something like that, will make me enjoy it more and can have the other benefit of getting Small Giants' attention, that people are not happy with the way they're doing things, and then that can make the game more fun by them actually caring what their players think about the game. So the only way that's going to happen is if we stop spending. So let me know if you guys are on board with that or what you think. So sort of a long meandering video, but this is just stuff that I wanted to get out there. So thank you guys for watching / listening. Not a lot to look at in this video. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.